Dear learners, now we will discuss the origin and definition of philosophy. Actually, a man is a philosopher when he thinks to have knowledge over from this world. Therefore, he applied his rationality, he applied his mind and thinking. Therefore, the knowledge is getting off. The word philosophy was appeared rather late in the history of humankind. Aristotle pointed out that the birth of philosophy is from the wonder. Events are keenly observed and explained through careful interpretation and reaching finally towards the knowledge and wisdom. In the Western world, the term philosophy was originated in Greece and known also as Greco-Roman philosophy or Greek philosophy. It is also known as Greek miracle. Greece was considered as the cradle of Western thought because it has some conducive characteristics as geographical condition, cultural interaction, political and economic security, myths and legends, religious freedoms were there, and they were all extroverts. Medieval Western philosophy is the philosophy of Europe and the Middle East in the medieval age, and also known as Christian philosophy. The modern Western philosophy was developed in the period of Renaissance and was based on reason and marked as the separation of philosophy from the science and theology. The method of philosophizing was inductive method. Philosophy arose in India as an inquiry into the mystery of life and existence. From Indian point of view, the term philosophy is synonymous term as darsana. The term has its root darsana in Sanskrit word which means to see. But this see is not only to look through eye but also to perceive through intellect, which reflects the real truth behind the universe of entity. That is to understand the whole life and the universe. Over centuries, the wisdom persons of India were involved in intellectual process. India's intellectual exploration of truth has come to be presented by the 6 systems of philosophy. Simply these are known as Vaishakij, Nayaka, Sammaka, Yoga, Purva Mimamsa, Vedanta or Uttara Mimamsa. These are the aspects where we can find the Indian philosophical aspects and thinkings and thoughts. According to Aristotle, philosophy arises from wonder. Man experiences various natural phenomena such as rains, droughts, storms, clouds, lightning, and so on and so forth. And we are ready to understand the universe through causal relation. Etymologically, if we analyze, we can see that philosophy has its Western origin in Greece. term consists of two terms taken from Greek terms. One is philos, which means love, and Sophia, which means wisdom. Philosophy thus can be said to be the love of wisdom, an attempt to achieve an intellectual endeavor to establish the reality of this entire universe. It inquires into the nature of the universe in which we live, the nature of the human soul and its destiny, and the nature of God or the Absolute and the relation to one another. That is the subject matter of the philosophy. A philosopher then is one who is friendly to or familiar with this wisdom. Plato interpreted philos as meaning that philosopher is wisdom's friend insofar as he does not yet have wisdom but strive after it. It is a relation like love. It is a love of wisdom in a new sense of the word. Wisdom here means neither technical skill nor practical cleverness, but knowledge. Philosophy does not want only to believe or to have faith, but to know. Philosophy is the human urge for knowledge, driven to the extreme. Philosopher is friendly to or familiar with this wisdom. Thus, philosophy is not a static but a movement of activity. Philosophy is the liberation from this captivity of the mind or the captivity of opinions. It can be said further that philosophy is the liberation from the womb of prejudice. We have to come out from the different beliefs and prejudices, and thereby we will be able to find out the exact truth of this universe. The knowledge will be then unfolded to us. Thus, philosophy is a kind of second birth. From Indian point of view, the term philosophy can be meaningfully termed in Sanskrit language as darsana. In Indian philosophy is the intense urge for the direct realization of ultimate reality. Its origin can be traced in the Upanishad as well as in other sacred books. Philosophical study initiated out of curiosity and wonder whether it is originated in Greece, India or any part of the world. Either in philosophy or in darsana, speculation or critical analysis is a must. It is intense perception and understanding of truth associated with this world and the aspect of life. The Western philosophy concentrates and achieves the development of knowledge, whereas Indian school of thought directly involves achieving the actual realization of self. In another sense, the former believes the love of truth and knowledge, whereas the latter perceives the truth itself. It identifies, it defines the synoptic view of this universe to have a total vision of reality there. It signifies a natural and a necessary urge in human beings to know themselves and the world in which they live and move in their being. Western school of thought has remained more or less true to the etymological meaning of philosophy, is being essentially an intellectual quest for truth. On the other hand, in Indian school of thought, we can see that we have to find out the exact truth. Now we can define philosophy in such a way. No single agreeable definition of philosophy is available. Different philosophers have opined their ideas. As per Aristotle said, philosophy is the science which investigates the nature of being as it is in itself and the attributes which belong to it in virtue of its own nature. Plato explained, philosophy is the acquisition of knowledge. Hegel remarked, philosophy aims at the knowledge of the external, of the essential nature of things. Immanuel Kant defines philosophy the science and criticism of cognition. Bertrand Russell illustrates philosophy is the logical study of the foundation of the science. Then Frederick Paulson said that philosophy is the sum total of all scientific knowledge. So, definition expresses a highest aspects, highest arena of thought where human can pay their intellectual ability and they can find the knowledge from this external world. So therefore, philosophy is an academic discipline or human activity which is considered with the examination of fundamental principles of reality. So it refers to the width and breadth, outlook, comprehensive range of experience, purview of that subject. So scope of philosophy is actually vast. It is very different, it vast, different aspects. That is, the subfields will come under the purview of the scope of the philosophy. Francis Bacon, English philosopher, mentioned that philosophy as the great mother of sciences. So we can say that the values of philosophy is most important here, and its definition is so vast that it can embrace the every aspects of human inquiry to find out the knowledge of this world, and that is the very definition of philosophy.